Hey y'all, welcome back. Today we're checking out 12 places London destroyed and tried to forget.
A woman ordered a coffee in Piccadilly. She had no idea she was standing on the ruins of a lost Egyptian temple. Somewhere else, a massive steel tower once hovered over the Thames until Churchill had it destroyed. And behind the flashing lights of Charing Cross Road, a legendary music venue was silently buried to make way for progress. London doesn't just build, it forgets. But beneath its shining skyline lie stories of buildings erased, reinvented or replaced. These are the 12 landmarks that vanished, and the secrets they left behind. These aren't just lost buildings, they're lost identities. Markers of a London that once was, now buried beneath coffee shops, parking lots and office towers. And yet, their stories still shape the soul of the city. It stood like a Roman sentinel.
Before we get into that, y'all be sure to go to British Time Capsule and like and subscribe. It's kind of sad when that happens, isn't it? Some things in the States are coming to mind, like Penn Station in New York City. Apparently it was this amazing architectural feat. It was beautiful. And then they tore it down and built a crappy one. I don't remember why. I think it was too expensive to upkeep or something. I don't know. It's heartbreaking, actually. And then I'm thinking about, there's a recording studio, or there used to be a recording studio in Los Angeles called Gold Star. It's where Phil Spector did a lot of his recordings. The Beach Boys worked there. Hugely influential recordings were made. And now there's a Starbucks there. And actually the place where the drummer sat in the studio is like right in the middle of the parking lot. It's sad. You know? It's weird how people make these decisions. Oh, we're just going to tear that down because it's not far enough away in history that it means something, but it's just far enough away in history that it's like kind of run down or crappy, and you know, they don't understand the value of the history of that location yet. You know? Am I making sense? I'm jumping ahead because I don't know what this video is going to say, but it's just making me think about all that lost architecture. Beautiful works of art. Just ripped down. Okay, what was this? Arch?
It stood like a Roman sentinel at the gateway to London's first intercity terminal. Built in 1837, the Euston Arch was a towering sandstone monument inspired by classical antiquity, imposing, elegant, and entirely unnecessary.
Entirely unnecessary. It does look like it could be a Roman ruin, doesn't it? It does. Wow.
But it captured the spirit of the age, proud, industrial, and unafraid to dream big. For over a century, it greeted millions of passengers with its massive columns and symbolic presence. Then came 1962. In a decision that still enrages preservationists, the British Transport Commission ordered it demolished to make room for a redesigned station. The stones weren't preserved in a museum, they were dumped in the River Lea. Today, a dull road leads to Euston Station.
Wow.
And the arch exists only in faded photographs and in the fury of those who never wanted it lost.
Architectural triumph. Look at it. They just tore it down. Did he say Euston Station? Show me on a map. Euston Station. What's there now? Okay, yeah, okay. That can't be the same place. Where was Euston Arch? The original Euston Station in London facing onto Drummond Street. Wait, so there's a station called Euston Station. Hang on. Euston Station. Oh, I think the captions were saying Houston. That's why it took me there. Okay. Where's that? Okay. Basically downtown. Euston Station, yeah. What's there now? Where's Drummond Street? I don't know where Drummond Street is, but let's, yeah, show me that. Looks like a pretty standard modern station architecture. I mean, it's actually really nice, but We lost it to time. Oh well, okay.
Before the London Eye ever turned, there was another giant watching over the city. The Great
Really?
Wheel, built for the 1900 Empire Exhibition, stood 308 feet tall and could carry over 1,000 passengers at once.
It doesn't look safe.
Inspired by the Ferris wheel in Chicago, it was a bold Victorian spectacle, a ride into the sky during an age obsessed with progress. But the Great Wheel didn't last. By 1920, it was dismantled and scrapped. Its purpose, pure entertainment, was too costly to maintain. Where it once stood, no trace remains, yet its influence is visible every time a capsule of the London Eye makes its slow, elegant climb into the clouds.
So there was another wheel before the London Eye. That's amazing. I never knew that. It looks unsafe, doesn't it? I don't know. Maybe it's a good thing they tore this one down because it probably would not last. The Great Wheel. Check me on the map. Oh, the Seattle Great Wheel. No. Where was London's Great Wheel? Oops, I spelled that wrong. Okay. Earl's Court, London. Oh, it was only there for maybe 12 years.
There was another giant...
Yeah, okay. That probably would not have survived just naturally. I gotta say, yeah, I think they did the right thing by taking this one down and building a new one.
London's original Chinatown wasn't in Soho. It was in Limehouse along the docks, born from sailors and traders who brought pieces of China to England's gritty East End. By the late 19th century, Chinese immigrants had created a community of tea houses, laundries, and apothecaries. It was mysterious, misunderstood, and often misrepresented in sensationalist newspapers and novels.
7-Up.
Bombed heavily during World War II and reshaped by urban planning, Limehouse's Chinatown faded into obscurity. By the 1950s, most of its population had relocated to Soho. The old streets were rebuilt, the shop signs removed, and an entire chapter of cultural history quietly rewritten in the name of progress.
Yeah, when he first mentioned Chinatown, the whole neighborhood that it moved, I was like, wow, how can you move a whole neighborhood? And then he said World War II, and that makes sense. It got bombed to I love that they actually rebuilt it. I mean, not rebuilt it, but relocated, you know? Chinatown. It's in Soho now, he said, which I guess is... Alright, is that Soho? But where is Limehouse? Limehouse, show me on the map. Way over there. Okay. It is a little closer to the water, to the docks. Oh yeah, this, what is this thing? What is this? Oh, Limehouse. The wharf. Okay, that's a long way to move. Interesting.
Ask someone to picture Wembley and they'll likely think of the Arch. But for decades, Wembley was known for its twin towers, iconic, white, majestic.
Really?
Opened in 1923, the original stadium was built in just 300 days, and it hosted everything from World Cup finals to Olympic glory, with the towers serving as proud sentinels.
It is beautiful.
In 2003, the towers were demolished to make way for the ultra-modern version we know today.
What?
While the new stadium may be more advanced, something intangible was lost. The Twin Towers weren't just architecture, they were emotion, memory, presence, and for many, Wembley hasn't felt quite the same since.
I've heard of Wembley Stadium. I mean, when I was a little kid, I heard of Wembley Stadium. That was beautiful. What does it look like now? So I gather it's in the same place as it used to be. They just redesigned the building, I guess, right? Wembley Stadium. That is beautiful, actually. That's kind of awesome. What's up with this arch? Are there lights on that? Or what does that do? Oh. That is striking. Oh, there's a golden retriever. He's going to the tennis match. You going to the tennis match, little buddy? You going to the tennis match? Yeah? You gonna catch a ball? You gonna catch a ball at the stadium? You gonna catch a ball at the stadium? Oh, that's a nice stadium. I hate to see those arches go because they are beautiful. Oh, look at that. That's nice. It's nice. It's modern. Oh, I don't know, man. I don't know. It seems like they could have maybe incorporated those towers or maybe just added on and I don't know. The new one looks so good. I don't know. I'm torn about that one. What do y'all think?
In 1605, a grand mansion rose near Kensington High Street, Cope Castle, later known as Holland House.
That's a home?
Over centuries, it became a hub for political salons.
Oh, political salons? What is I don't even know what that is. If this is someone's home, I'm gonna vomit.
Hosting Whig Party elites, writers, and foreign dignitaries. It stood as a symbol of power and refinement, wrapped in ivy and English charm. Then came the bombs.
Oh, of course.
In 1940, during a single Luftwaffe raid, 22 bombs struck Holland House. Most of the structure was destroyed, leaving only fragments of its walls standing. What had once echoed with laughter and debate now stood hollow.
Wow.
A ruin left as a silent witness to the price of war.
And I guess they didn't rebuild it. I mean, that would be impossible to be rebuilt, right? Oh, hang on. There's something there. Oh, it's really close to downtown. It's just... What? There's only 2 photos. What? I guess these smaller buildings survived maybe, and the larger building we were seeing is gone. What's this? Now it's a park. Oh. Ooh, food. Oh, what is that? Latte, pancakes, flowers. It's beautiful, though. It's beautiful. Okay, so it's a park now. That's a good use of space, I guess, right? Oh, wow. It's a beautiful park. Oh my God. Someone forgot to turn on the image stabilization on their phone. But it's beautiful. Ah, yes. Peacocks. Okay, some structures survived. Wow, can you imagine if that was your lawn? Oh, wow. Oh, they have squirrels. Beautiful. That's a huge loss.
It looked like it floated.
What is
Built in
that?
1951 for the Festival of Britain.
It does look like it's
The
floating.
Skylon was a needle-shaped tower suspended mid-air, held by cables in a way that defied gravity. At 300 feet tall, it became a futuristic emblem of post-war optimism, symbolizing a Britain ready to rebuild. But its time was brief. Just a year later, Winston Churchill ordered its removal. It was scrapped, physically dismantled and erased. Some say it was political, others say practical. Today, the South Bank, where it once stood, offers no sign of its presence, only memories and photographs of a moment when Britain tried to dream big again.
That first photo did make it look like it was floating because you couldn't see the cables. Oh, that's not. No. Futuristic-looking, slender, vertical, cigar-shaped steel tenescredy. What does that mean? Oh. Floating compression is a structural principle based on a system of isolated components under compression inside a network of continuous tension and arranged in such a way that the compressed members do not touch each other while the... A popular joke of the period was that, like the British economy of 1951, it had no visible means of support. Maybe that's why he had it torn down. The Skylon was climbed at midnight by Philip Gurdon, a student at Birkbeck College who attached a University of London Air Squadron scarf near the top. Yeah, people are climbing it. Like, I could see why they tore it down. It's just causing trouble. It looks cool, but someone's gonna die.
Standing beside the Skylon in 1951, the Dome of Discovery was another centerpiece of the Festival of Britain. The largest dome in the world at the time, it housed exhibits about space, science, and the future. It was bold, educational and filled with post-war wonder.
Great.
But like the Skylon, its fate was sealed quickly. By 1952, it was demolished to make room for redevelopment. Its innovative design and uplifting message were buried by practicality. In its place, a parking lot. The dome was gone, and with it, a vision of Britain that dared to look forward. In the heart of Piccadilly,
A parking lot. That makes me so sad. A parking lot. A parking lot. You know, it does make me feel better to know that things like this happen in Britain as well, because was it that singer-songwriter, not Joan Baez, the other one, the blonde one. She had a song about you were given paradise and you tore it down and made a parking lot or something like that. And it happens a lot. It happens a lot. Look at this place. It's a science museum. They're like, no, we need a place to park our cars. Wow.
in the heart of Piccadilly, once stood a building that looked more at home beside the Nile than on London streets. Egyptian Hall, built in 1812, was one of the first structures in England to adopt Egyptian revival architecture.
Wow.
It housed curiosities, exhibitions and artifacts from around the world, drawing crowds with its exotic flair. By 1905, it was gone, demolished to make way for commercial buildings. Today, a Starbucks stands near its original location.
Of course.
From Temple of Mystery to Temple of Caffeine, the transformation speaks volumes about the city's evolving tastes and what it's
Look at that. What a feat.
willing to sacrifice in the name of progress.
If that lasted till 2015, it could have been turned into a Weatherspoons. Right? But now it's a Starbucks. This reminds me actually a lot of a theater in Los Angeles called the Mayan Theater. It's about to close down. It looks very similar. Let me just show you on a map. Right? The Mayan. It's a nightclub now, but I guess it's just not cost effective. See, look at that. Such intricate architecture and just tossing it away. Just ripping it down. We don't build stuff like that anymore, you know? It's like too expensive now.
Originally built for the Great Exhibition of 1851, the Crystal Palace was a one...
I thought this was still there. Wait, maybe we're just talking about this tower over here on the left. I thought the Crystal Palace was still there. Sorry to stop.
wonder of its time. A cathedral of glass and iron showcasing industry, art and invention. After the exhibition, it was moved to Sydenham and expanded, becoming a landmark visited by millions.
You can move that? What? How do you move that? Oh my God. Wow. Okay. That, gotta have some careful construction workers to be moving all that glass, you know?
But in 1936, a fire reduced it to rubble. Flames lit up the sky as crowds watched helplessly. Only stone remnants remain in the park today.
Really?
The palace that once represented Victorian ingenuity and optimism was gone overnight, and with it, a symbol of an era's confidence.
That's a shame. Crystal Palace Beauty and Nails, and no. Okay, looks like this is where it used to be, I guess. Crystal Palace Park. Well, another beautiful piece of architecture. At least they left it as a park again, right? Wow. What's that? Oh, that's a shame. I guess I saw some other video and I thought it was still there. That's a shame. Wych Street?
Tucked between the Strand and Lincoln's Inn Fields, Wych Street was a crooked row of old Tudor and Elizabethan buildings, steeped in history and legend. Its narrow lanes and leaning houses looked like a portal to Shakespearean London. Awesome. Imperfect, eerie, enchanting. But in 1901, it was wiped off the map. The city needed to modernise, and the street was demolished to create Aldwych and Kingsway. In trying to make space for the new, London...
Hang on. Look at that. that looks like a movie set. It looks like Oliver Twist is about to run out there and be like, "Hey."
Buried its own theatrical past, and one of its oldest streets disappeared without a trace.
Wow.
It wasn't just the buildings that vanished, it was the atmosphere, the character, the soul of a corner of London that no longer fit the modern blueprint. And today, thousands walk those new roads, unaware they're treading on buried history, where playwrights once wandered and ghost stories were born.
Where he said it was, it's become a new intersection now. I wonder if I can find it. Let's see. Wych Street? Oh. Yeah. Huh. There's an alley with some cars parked. Let me drop a dude in there and see if we can check it out. Oh. Wow. It's very... oh my god, it looks so boring now. Damn.
Music pulsed through its walls. From the 1920s as a cinema to its transformation into a legendary concert venue, the London Astoria hosted generations of live performances, from Radiohead to the Rolling Stones. It was chaotic, electric, and intimate, a cornerstone of the capital's music scene. In 2009, it was demolished to make way for the Crossrail project. A piece of underground rail replaced a palace of sound. For many fans, the music didn't just stop, it was silenced, and what replaced it couldn't hum with memory the same way. Have you ever walked past a place and wondered what used to stand there?
Yeah. Damn, y'all. If they can move the Crystal Palace, they can move the Astoria, right? Move it away, build your train station underneath it, then put it back, right? Oh, not Waldorf Astoria, Beverly Hills, no. Where was the Astoria in London? 157 Charing Cross Road. Should be on a map. Oh, yes. Is that it? Could be, yes. Oh, that's very gold. Hard to tell. Hard to tell. I mean, there's all modern buildings now. Dang.
At the corner of Poultry and Queen Victoria Street, once stood a stunning neo-Gothic marvel, the Mappin and Web building. Completed in 1870, it housed one of the city's finest jewellers and symbolised Victorian commercial pride, pointed arches, detailed stonework, and elegance in every brick. In 1994, it was razed. Today, its replacement, Number 1 Poultry, sits in stark contrast with pink limestone and postmodern lines.
Hang on. Number 1 Poultry. Is that crazy building we saw just at the beginning of the segment? It is. Oh, man. This does look like it was built in the 90s, doesn't it? It does. I don't know. I mean, it's an adventurous design, but I like the one before better. Yeah. It's kind of like all over the place. That's so much better.
The old building's ornate charm gave way to sharp geometry, a perfect metaphor for London's eternal cycle of reinvention at the cost of memory. Some call the new building bold. Others still grieve what was lost. It's hard to replace character with concrete, and even harder to forget it. Cities evolve, streets change, and sometimes entire landmarks vanish without a sound, not destroyed by disaster, but quietly erased by time, development, or neglect. London is a city that remembers through shadows, echoes, and half-told stories. The Astoria, the Skylon, the Crystal Palace, all gone, yet still alive in the memories of those who knew them, and the photos that refuse to fade. If you believe that the past deserves more than just a footnote, subscribe to this channel. Because behind every demolished wall and vanished dome, there's a story still waiting to be told.
Y'all be sure to go to British Time Capsule and like and subscribe. Wow. You know, the ones that got bombed, like, what are you gonna do, right? But the ones that got just torn down to make a parking lot or a Starbucks, what the come on. You know, I know Weatherspoons gets a bad rap for being a chain pub. I get that. But I also have heard that they do building refurbishment, and they'll take an old building and repurpose it into a Weatherspoons. That's better than tearing it down, right? Well, this was fascinating. I can't believe the Crystal Palace is gone. I thought it was still there. Damn it. Damn it. Well, y'all, be sure to go to British Time Capsule and like and subscribe. I'd like to thank my patrons. I'd like to thank my Buy Me a Coffee folks. Thank y'all for watching this with me, and I'll see you next time. Later.